What does this actually signify? As you enter, when you look at the other kingdom, what does it mean?
It's a sign of trust for human beings.
My father tried to teach me his emotions. They are difficult.
You mean your desires?
Yes.
So why'd you murder him?
I did not murder Dr. Leonard.
Don't explain why you're letting the crime scene.
That was right.
Robots don't love you. I feel envy. They're hungry, they don't sleep.
I do not. I have even had dreams.
Human beings have needs. And dogs have. You're just a machine. Imitation of life. Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you hear me?
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Guys, can everyone move inwards on if you're sitting at the edges of the rows? We have to fill up space. So try and make us, take as much space, leave, what's the words? Just don't leave gaps, basically, yeah. Try and sit together.
All right. Yeah, I think so. All right, just a few final people coming in now. We all good? Am I standing in the right place? Great. All good? All good. All right, let's get started. Can we switch the outputs? It's on there? Okay, great. This hasn't changed, but that means I can't see the slides. I will have to turn around to see the slides. Can somebody, AV people, fix this one? I can turn around, but it's worse. Not going to work? Okay, no worries. Let's get started then. I might move back there if I need to. Okay, so welcome back to IC Hack Ceremony, again in a weird location, but I'm glad you guys have had patience with us. So congratulations for making it here in this room right at the end of a 24-hour hackathon. It's not easy. I've been there. It's a very, very long process, working the entire time. And this year, we've given you like an overwhelming amount of stuff to do as well. So big congratulations on actually being here. I think we've got some stats. We've got 700 plus attendees if you count everybody who's here. And we've got 60 plus submitting teams, 3,000 meals served, and 2 venues. So that was something. For the first time ever, I'm pretty sure. I think we've had venues external before, but it was all in the same place at least. But yeah, thank you all for cooperating with us and making everything as smooth as possible and understanding when things went wrong. Yeah, we tried our best. All right, I would like to introduce our guest speaker. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this. So our guest speaker this year, for the first time ever at IC Hack, is Simon Peyton-Jones. He's the leading computer science researcher at Epic Games. He's the lead designer of the widely used Haskell programming language, as well as GHC, which a lot of Imperial students will have used because we teach it as the default programming language in first year. He's also a fellow of the Royal Society, which is really, really cool. And the chair of computing at school and the National Center for Computing Education. So without further ado, please welcome Simon. You might want to...
Okay, see if we can make that one work. Well, good afternoon, IC Hack. Congratulations on making it so far. I think most of you have been awake for more than 24 hours, so I regard my primary goal as simply to keep you awake for another 15 minutes. And I want to do that. Can I have a slide? Yeah, would that'd be great. I would like you to think about aha moments. Those moments. Do you remember when suddenly something happened that made you think, aha, that is what is cool about computer science, right? There have been moments. I'm going to just tell you about a couple of those moments for me, because they're the things that sort of inspire us in a way that to make us and turn us into the people that we are. But I'd like you to think about what those moments were for you. So here is a couple for me. This is me aged, I think about 8, maybe. I think I was a little bit older than 8 when my school teacher gave me this problem. He said, a man goes to a bank teller who's dealing with an irate customer who comes in every day and demands a sum of money in pounds between £1 and £1,000. And the teller thinks, well, I need to serve him quickly, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some money in envelopes and have them ready to flick across the counter. So 10 envelopes, my teacher said to me. What does he put in the 10 envelopes? Okay, so binary, look at that, right. See, a very smart audience here. So yes, so I thought, oh, well, he better have one with £1, right? And then £2 is a possibility, better have one with £2. That deals with 3, so now I need one with £4, and that would deal with 5 and 6 and 7. So now we need one with 8. And before I knew it, my teacher had taught me the binary number system without ever saying the word base 2 or binary, just talking to me about bank tellers. I thought that was a really good piece of pedagogy because here I am, 55 years later, and I still remember that occasion, right? And I bet that each of you has stories like that. So think about them, because I'm going to tell you one more. So this one was a little bit later in my life. I'd started to write programs by now, and I like writing programs to play games. So this game is called NIM. Have you all come across NIM, most of you? Any of you? You don't look. It's maybe just some of you, right? So the game is you have some piles of matchsticks, right? Maybe 3, maybe 5, some piles of matchsticks. And in any one move, you can take any number of matches from any one pile, but only one pile. And the goal is to take the last match. That is to take all of the last remaining pile, which you could do, okay? Now, if you were writing a computer program to play one side of the game, which is kind of what I was into in those days, right? What would you do? So I'm going to help you. I'm going to jump to the answer because maybe some of you know it's quite hard to work out actually, but it's very beautiful. And it's just this: imagine you encode the number of matches in each pile in binary, and then you just line them up and take the XOR of the columns. Right? Take the exclusive OR of the columns. So here I've got pile with 5, pile with 9, pile with 2. Write out in binary. Take vertical exclusive OR. Now, your goal is going to be to make the line at the bottom all zeros. Right, so if it starts non-zero, there has to be a most significant 1, right? And therefore, there must be one pile that has a 1 in that bit. So if I make that 1 into a 0, now I can do anything with the remaining bits of that pile, because I've removed 2 to the end, so I can do anything with the remaining bits, in order to make all the other ones in 0. And there you have it, right? Isn't that beautifully simple and easy? And I thought, it's like suddenly you see the way that something completely non-obvious in which a sort of computational solution can just crack the whole thing once and for all, and you have a winning strategy. But you'd kind of never really have thought of it, or at least I wouldn't have thought of it. So I thought that was very cool. Very cool. So now, what about your aha moments, right? So just talk to your neighbor for 30 seconds and tell them about an aha moment that you've had somewhere in your subject where you thought, that was a moment at which computer science turned out to be cool. Go on, 30 seconds. Do it now. I know you're sleepy. Okay. Okay, aha. Say aha together. Aha. Oh, very good. Thank you. Now, is anybody brave enough just to share a little aha moment? Just that you've been sharing with each other. Could you share it with somebody else? Oh dear, and I've kicked over the lights. Ow. Kicked over the lights. Oh, crumbs. An aha moment? Yeah, go on.
Most recent one.
The microphone working?
Microphone doesn't work. That's fine.
I was
Most recent
promised.
one, for ages, I was trying to debug something that just turned out to be trying to access a file object in a sub-process, but it was declared in the parent process. Yeah,
Aha.
I figured that out. It was really
Okay, the child process, the parent process. Is this microphone working? Yes, it is working now. Anybody else? A quick aha? Oh, yes, thank you.
MATLAB is so much better at solving things than me, so I should just use it to solve everything and write things to solve everything.
Just use MATLAB to solve everything. Is that an aha? That's a sort of aha moment. Yeah. Bit of a depressing one in a way, isn't it? And nowadays, maybe ChatGPT, right? Okay, good. So I like to think about that sort of motivating moment in your lives, right? When you think that's why I'm here. So for me, it turned out to be, this idea of using computation as a way to solve problems beautifully and elegantly and once and for all, that really turned me on. I became an undergraduate at Cambridge in 1976, and at that stage, I started to learn about functional programming. So I was starting to think about what is computation. So I'd grown up on microprocessors when I was at school. The Intel 4004, the world's first microprocessor, was released in a way that an ordinary human being could buy one. It was a 4-bit microprocessor. We thought it was amazing. 8-bit microprocessors came out while I was at school. It was also amazing. So I was very much writing machine code, right? So here was I doing Euclid's algorithm, right? Then when I was at university, I learned functional programming and learned you could write the very same algorithms in a purely functional style without having mutable references that you mutate all the time. And that led to me, after a bit, to understand that, that when I look back into computer science history, we had this guy, Alan Turing, who invented the Turing machine, very much like a microprocessor, step at a time, modify the tape. But at the very same time, Alonzo Church, who was at Princeton at the same time as Turing. In fact, Alonzo Church was Turing's supervisor. Did you know that? And they both wrote papers about their models of computation at very similar times, like the late 20s, early 30s. So Alonzo Church wrote his paper about lambda calculus, right? And it turns out then that Turing machines can do things, lambda calculus can do things, and both of them have a claim to be what you might say, this is what it means for something to be computable. But the aha moment was, whoa, it's the same thing. Right? You can make a lambda term that encodes a Turing machine or a Turing machine that encodes a lambda term. They're equally expressive. That's very non-obvious. Right? We take it for granted now because it was sort of, they figured it out in the 1930s. But I'd like you to just think how amazing that is, that these two very, very different models of computation turn out to be exactly equally expressive. And then, of course, they led to two different ways of thinking about the entire enterprise of programming. There's mainstream languages on the left and functional programming languages on the right. And in fact, as it turned out then, this rather slow dawning aha moment for me when I was at university was functional programming is, the story arc of my professional life, in effect. I worked for a small time for an electronics company, then I went to join UCL as a lecturer, went to Glasgow as a professor, and all this time I was essentially taking this single idea of purely functional programming and saying, how can we knock down the obstacles that make that beautiful, elegant idea into a practical reality? What stops it being a practical reality? And that turned into Haskell as a sort of substrate for all of that. Have you heard of Haskell? Yeah. Oh, good, yeah, just checking, right. And then Microsoft research for a bit, I've ended up at Epic Games, where we're working on another declarative programming language. Actually, it's a functional logic language, not just a functional language. So, but the thing I'd like to convey to you is that for me, this single unifying idea that immutability changes everything, that has been the story of my professional life. That's, by the way, a brilliant title of a paper by Pat Helland. The paper is quite good. It's not really good, but the title is brilliant. It is the best title I have ever seen of a paper. Okay, so I was totally hooked. So here we are. We are fortunate enough to be able to do things that we think are enormous fun, right, and inspiring, and indeed, I found this quote by Fred Brooks, who wrote this book called The Mythical Man Month. This is a book that, who's actually read The Mythical Man Month? You've probably heard of it. Who's read it? Only a couple. Look, guys, you have to read The Mythical Man Month. It's quite a short book. It's very readable. And Fred Brooks is a almost poetic author. He's a really good writer. So you will not regret reading this book. But this is what Fred had to say. He said, the programmer, like the poet, works only slightly removed from pure thought stuff. She builds her castles in the air from air by creating by exertion of the imagination. Few media of creation. They're so flexible, so easy to polish, so readily capable of realizing grand conceptual structures. See what I mean about him being a poet, right? I found that, so that's, I feel incredibly fortunate to be somebody whose day job is to work with that medium, So, here we are then. I want to sort of move to where we are. We are, lucky us, at the top of this pyramid, right? You... You are the brains right up here, right? I'm sorry to say, you just are the geeks, the nerds of the future. It won't be long before you're all running the country, right? But what did it take to make us be the people who are, do something that is very valuable to the world, that other people respect, and that is highly paid? Is it because we deserve it? Not really, right? It's because we got lucky. Right? We got lucky. I feel incredibly fortunate that I just happen to be interested in computer science and that people are willing to pay me ridiculous sums of money just to do things that I enjoy every day, right? What's not to like? So, now, what you should not do is feel guilty about this, right? You shouldn't feel guilty about being fortunate. And often people do feel a bit, or they risk other people make them feel guilty, right? You're fortunate to be at the top of this pyramid, but you shouldn't feel guilty about it. You should feel joyful about it, but also generous about it. And so that's the bit that I want to finish with, is a bit, what might you do with your good fortune, apart from have a whale of a time, right? And I want to give you 3 concrete things you could do, right? 3. And these are all actionable things. Here we are. Number 1, be involved in the debate about what our technology, the technology we spend our time developing, does to society. Number 2, be involved in our children's education, especially in computing. And number 3, give away a lot of money. Right? I'm going to say a little bit more about each of those. But the thing I really want you to remember for today is, you remember nothing else, is please do something, right? Rejoice in your good fortune, but don't just sit on your yacht, right? All of us have a role to play. So, number 1, be the human face of tech, right? So, AI is hot at the moment. It's all over the news, right? Is it a risk to societies? Is it going to take everybody's jobs? And it's a serious question, right? And the people in this room are better equipped to help everybody else make well-informed choices than anybody else is, right? The danger is that our politicians or, that our leaders, essentially, will make ill-informed choices because they don't understand the technology very well. You guys, all of us, we understand the technology much better. What we must not do is sit in our white coats and say, I'm sure the Prime Minister will do the right thing, right? Now, the trouble is that we all feel powerless, don't we? I'm a mere worm. How could I possibly influence what actually happens in the world? Well, the fact is that each of us individually are a bit worm-like, but together we're a hugely powerful force. And like it or not, you will be running the country, right? Maybe not, by being Prime Minister. You will be senior in companies or in influential positions of one way or another. You will be important. So I just want you to think that big trees start from little acorns. Heavy doors swing on little hinges, right? And you are one of those little acorns or hinges. And don't wash your hands of it on the grounds that you're powerless. You are not powerless. Okay, that's number 1. So number 2, as many of you know, as you mentioned earlier, I've been deeply involved in what our children learn about computing as part of their school education. I think this is important because school is something that every single child in the country does. There's lots of things that children can do in after-school clubs and things, but in school, every child does it. So it's a big lever on equity. And I think that computing and the computing industry and the stuff that we know and love so much is a ladder out of disadvantage as well. So I really want this to apply to all of our children. Right, so what does that mean? It means we need to have a decent curriculum, we need to have decent exams, we need to have well-trained teachers, and we need to have lots of people supporting education. So, some of you, I hope, will become teachers, but the rest, I hope, will support education. Here are some concrete things you might do. You might join Computing at School, which is the group that I helped start, that tries to support teachers in being better computing teachers. Computing at School, CAS. You could become a STEM ambassador. You can do that today. That means you sign up to kind of visit schools occasionally and help them give talks, work with a teacher, but STEM ambassadors do, help to link you up with schools to do that. You could run a code club. I put the little logo here for code club somewhere. Or you could join First Tech Challenge, which is a sort of robot-based initiative. There are a lot of these things, but and you just got to decide, I'm going to do something. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to do something. And almost wherever you start, you'll find it will lead you into something else. I would talk to some of your colleagues, undergraduates here at Imperial, who are doing the module on teaching in schools. What's it called? It's called something. Anyway, I talked to several of you who did that. It sounded amazing, right? So the rest of you, do that module. You have to get interviewed to do it. It's competitive to get in, but really good. Okay, so do something. So that's 2. Get involved in the conversation about tech. Get involved in somehow helping our children to have a better education because you're well equipped to do that. And the third thing is give lots of money away. So now what do I mean by this? Well, I remember the first day somebody paid me a salary. Up to then, in my entire life, I'd been paying other people for things like, education, right? And now suddenly, somebody was paying me to do something that I loved. That was an amazing day. And it wasn't very much money. I think my starting salary was £14,000. But it was a huge thrill. So here's what I want to suggest that you do. From the moment that you start to earn, open a Charities Aid Foundation account and put 10% of your pre-tax salary into it, and do that for the rest of your life. Now, if you do that, you will never notice, right? You will never be materially less happy because you earn 10% less across your entire lifespan than if you earned 10% more. That will not materially change your happiness, but it will make a material change to your happiness actually for the better, because you'll find that you have tons of money to give away, and you'll improve a lot of other people's lives. So I want to give you a practical suggestion for this, which is the following. Here's what usually happens. Your employer pays you, or in this case me, and put money in my bank account, and then I give money away to good causes. And each of those occasions is a painful one. Oh, somebody comes to the door. Oh, save the children. Shall I give some money? £10, £20. That feels like quite a lot, right? But so each occasion is a bit painful. And if I don't do anything, right, if nobody comes to the door for a bit, the result is I don't give any money away, right? So here's a better plan. Much better plan that I've been doing for the last 40 years, and that I strongly endorse with you. Open an account with the Charities Aid Foundation. So I have no connection with CAF. I've had an account with them for 40 years. I have no other connection with them. They're kind of like a bank, except that the bank account you have with them, once you put money into it, the only way to give money out is to give it to a charity. Well, it's just like a ratchet. So you just arrange a standing order from your bank account, or ideally from your employer, straight into your CAF account. And once it's in your CAF account, all you can do with it is give it away. So when somebody asks you for money, it's like pure joy, because you can say, money has accumulated here. Actually, since I last looked at it, it's got quite a lot. And all I can do with it is give it to you. It's just joyful. So you go from pain to joy. What's not to like about that? Right? There is one moment of pain at which you have to decide, in the entire year, how much do I want to give away? So, 10% of your salary, make it 20% if you like. Just do something static and leave it there. But if you do nothing else, it'll just accumulate, and then you can give it away. So, but you've got to do this from day one, right? The moment you get used to earning your full salary, right, it becomes painful again. You've got to do it the day that somebody starts to pay you. All right, so I'm sorry to be didactic about this. I'm very, very prescriptive, but I really think this will make a big difference. If you do this, then for the rest of your life, you will be somebody who's given away millions of pounds in their life. And that is quite a substantial thing to do in your life. If all of the people at this hackathon, all 700 people, was to do that, that would be, a force of nature, right? That would be really big. So think about it. So here's, I'm done, right? So here we are, 3 things. Look, we're fortunate. And so we shouldn't feel guilty about that. We should feel joyful about it. But we feel joyful with a sense of responsibility. We are more powerful than we think. We really can make a difference, both individually and together. And I've given you sort of 3 tangible, concrete, actionable things that you could do, and that I hope that some of you will choose to do. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
I'll switch the output. Yeah, thanks Simon for that very engaging, very, very well-delivered speech. It's very rare that we get someone in of this high profile to speak to our students, and I'm very thankful for that we've had this opportunity. I think what you said was very important as well. Given the nature of this hackathon, I think it's something you should take into consideration. Let's move on. So I know you're all waiting for results and things like that from this hackathon, so let's go on to the Hackspace Cup, which was actually wildly successful from our perspective. A lot of people took part. I'm really happy that the work we put into it was worthwhile. I'm really happy to see that you guys had fun taking part in it. So as I've been told, you'll be able to collect your prize if you have won, if you're in the Hackspace that has won, in ICME, which is Imperial College main entrance, which is where you would have come in if everything had gone normal. So that's just down that way. We'll show you where it is. There's going to be a little desk where you can collect your prize. And we'll also ping people on Discord if they've won specific prizes that we want to give them. So let's move on to the actual results. This is before we count the sponsor interactions. This is what we had. It's very, very close, isn't it? It's 9 points, 9 points difference. So unfortunately, if you're here and you're from the JCR, it's looking unlikely. But the Queen's Tower room and the Senior Common room, they're tying. They're almost there. So the next bit, the amount you interacted with these guys here, the sponsors, that's going to win you a T-shirt, whoever it may be. Okay. So it turns out that the QTR has won. So yes, again, just to reiterate, so if you're from the Queen's Tower rooms, we will be checking your ID just to make sure you are from that Hackspace. So come to Imperial College main entrance, which is just down there, where the big screen is, where it's the big brain thing. Come down there. We have a desk set up where we can give you away your prizes. It should all go smoothly. Thanks for everyone for taking part in this. It's been the first time we tried something like this, and I think it went really well. But let's move on to Chicken Media's meme prize. So got someone from Chicken Media to talk about this? Surprise. If you're ready to talk about it, we can, yeah. I think there's a roving mic that you can use.
All right. Hey, everyone. This is the other guy in Chicken Media as well. Founder, CEO, everything. So the meme prize for us today is, go on, can you get them out? Okay, fair enough. Oh yeah, I didn't say who it was, did I? So, due to many things that have happened this weekend, we were expecting more creativity with regards to, there's no Great Hall, there were no memes about that. There was no Nando's, there's no memes about that. I promise I'm not just shitting on you guys. There was also no bar night, no memes about that. I promise I'll stop there. But no, honestly, you handled it very well, so awesome job for that. But the memes were not on point. Therefore, we decided that the best mimetic content from this weekend has been a chicken impression that Victor performed during our Taskmaster challenges. So if Victor is around still, please come on down to claim your meme prize. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, the prize is actually multiple prizes. First off, we've got a nice little chicken for you, so you can keep the chicken legacy going. We've got something to help you in case you lose the chicken. So it's like one of those things that you used to track, yeah, like an air tag, you can use to track the chicken. And then we also have I don't know why you got this, but a piece of poop. Like a knitted poop. Maybe it's to symbolize the connection with chicken. I don't know, the circle of chicken. I don't know, the cycle of chicken. Yeah, you already won one of those, but this is another exclusive Chicken Media T-shirt So we were saying, and if you haven't seen the reel that's gone up on Instagram, Victor actually won one of these T-shirts already, but we're going to give him another one. One more thing. So the best thing to go with chicken is... it's a duck. But yeah. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thanks to Chicken Media for being highly entertaining as usual, for charging up the hackathon. All right, so I think this is what everyone's kind of been waiting for. We're going to go through the categories, the DoCSoc categories, and so on and so forth. I think my colleague Akash is going to go through them now.
Hi, hey everyone. I actually haven't seen these slides today because I've been, running around, but let's do this. So our first DoCSoc category is the newcomers. So the newcomers is a category where if you haven't competed in a hackathon before, this is the first hackathon you competed in. We look at, hey guys. Okay, great. So yeah, the prize is a Sony noise-canceling headset, and the runner-up is Mood Swings. So if you could have them come down if they're here.
We'll give you one each. So 4 of you in the team? Okay. Okay. Are you, one more? Okay. We'll come speak to us afterwards, yeah? Yeah. All right. And then trophies as well. Give them trophies. Yeah. Akash.
Right. And finally, the winner is map.it.
These winners? Huh? These winners? Yeah. Correct ones? All right. So I'll take these.
This one each.
Hopefully. Hope it's still intact. There's foam in there, so don't worry. There you go. 4 again? Okay.
Everyone's in there.
I think you take photos down there.
Yeah, that's right.
And we'll get the prizes for you in a second.
Okay.
One. All 4.
All of them, yeah. All 4.
You want to hold on? There you go. Prizes. One. There you go. You can take the photos down here, I think.
Right, next up, we have our daily life category. They'll be winning a Google Nest Hub Max as well as a Chromecast to go alongside it. Yeah, and so the runner-up for this category is Y1 Hustlers.
Give them out, yeah? Pass them along.
6 of us, eh?
Yep, that's the right number. Yeah, one more.
And 6 of these come. What's this?
6 Amazon gift cards.
Hey, love it. Yes.
50.
All right. And the winners are Beacon AI.
Complicated. Yeah. Yeah, so. Best if you come down here to get these ones. Quite big.
Yeah, just pass them down, I guess.
Pass it down, yeah?
How many are there?
How many have you got? 5 or 6?
Toss it.
Okay, speak to us afterwards then. Okay. Have you got everybody?
Yeah, here, I got it.
Yeah.
6 of you, right? Well, what is the 6th person though? There's 6 people here. Oh, he arrived. Okay.
Can
There you go.
get those 3.
So we get a volunteer in. Okay.
They want to talk. The sponsors judges want to talk. Judges want to talk about this next one, yeah?
Okay. Okay.
Judges.
Right, next one. We have our application of theory category. In this one, they'll be winning a Logitech keyboard as well as a Logitech mouse. And for this one, we actually want the judges from this category to come up and speak. So, yeah. Okay.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Chirag. I'm one of the teaching fellows at Imperial. And along with Dr. Paul Dr. Paul Kelly. Sorry to get the name wrong. I think he's there. All right. So along with, we were the judges for this category. We were looking at various aspects like application of the theory, which is in the name. So usability, the technology behind it, the model should function, or the app that you have developed should function, and simple, at a very core level, your understanding of the thing that you have developed. Right. So should I just list out the names?
Right, so the runner-ups are...
Right, so the runner-up is Handemonium. They developed a computer vision hand gesture detection in the classroom. So as a lecturer, it is often difficult to know the mood and to understand the feedback from the audience. So a technology like this can really help with that. And the winner is Code Blocks. More on the teaching space.
How many do you have? Both. Oh.
Right. They'll give you the... An application to help students learn to code, essentially. So applies pretty well. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
They're still... Are we having a judge for this one?
Sorry?
Judge? Okay. And finally, we have the creative arts category. The prize will be a Creality Ender V3 3D printer. And yeah, we'd like to invite Jamie to speak about the category.
Hello. So, yes, if you don't know me, I am the most recent addition to the Teaching Fellow team at Imperial. So my first official engagement, I guess. Me and Maria were in charge of doing the creative arts one, and what we were looking for was we were looking for things that could be usable in the real world, and things that were in a ready enough state that we felt actually this, with maybe a little bit of polishing, could actually be useful for something and be quite useful. So yeah, we saw a lot of good things today, and it was a tough decision to work out who our top two were, but we think we've come up with some good ones, and I'm excited to hear what they are.
So the first one is Duolog.
Hey, great job. Yeah, sure.
And finally, the winner is Imprompters. Huh? Oh yeah, and the prize is too big, so if you guys want to collect it afterwards, we'll just stay around. Huh? Yeah, still come up, we still want to take a photo, and we have the trophies to give out, but the prizes will be collected afterwards because they're too big to give out on stage.
A nice thing about Impromptu's thing was that they were geared at helping teaching computing in schools. So obviously, Simon, you'll be pleased to hear this. But yeah, it was a nice project. It's a great job.
All right, and once again, your prizes will be given afterwards because they're too big to give you on stage. All right, let's move on to the sponsored prizes. All right, for the sponsored categories, we'd like the sponsors to come up on stage and talk about what they saw. So first up is Optiva. The slides in there, so it's going to be runner-up and winner. Right. Okay. Yeah, there's a prize as well.
Check. Hey everyone, nice to see so many people make it to the end. Yeah, want to start off thanking the organisers. I think there was lots of unforeseen complications here, but they managed to keep everything sort of transparent to us. So let's give them a round of applause. Also want to thank all of the participants, everyone who came up to us and was really curious. We had some great conversations. Yeah, it was great to see how interested people were in the sort of work that we do, and everyone who enjoyed taking part in our challenge. We were running the OptiBook Market Making Challenge, so all of the participants coded up their little trading bots and were competing to make the most amount of money in these last 20 minutes today. So I'll hand over to Stefan to announce the runners-up who are going to be winning some AirPods Pros, and then the winners who will be winning some iPhones.
All right. So for the runners-up, it's the Team 30. Team 30, can you please come down? So we've seen Team 30 developed a fairly complex market-making strategy They've been making good use of putting quotes in at multiple levels, providing a lot of value to the market even shortly after the prices have moved. And they were also one of the few teams that we've seen market making in the other market in the secondary market while the other market was closed, so still providing liquidity and allowing other participants to take part. All right, another round of applause for Team 30. And the winners of the OptiBook Market Making Challenge this year are the Team 16. So we've seen Team 16 not only score the highest profit during our 20-minute simulation, but they've not only been applying arbitrage strategies to make monies taking advantage of inefficiencies in the markets, but as well provided liquidity to both markets, making use of having access to prices in both markets, providing liquidity to both markets, and we're also the ones with the best risk management strategy we've seen in this challenge, making use of determining where their risk limits were and making sure they're not constantly up against their risk limits so they're ready to act on any signal in the markets. Well done, Team 16.
Let's come get a photo.
All right, and once again, thank you to Optiva for sponsoring IC Hack 24. Let's move on to the next sponsor as soon as we're done here. Oh, shuffle around. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, next up, we have Terra, and their prize is the Apple Watches, which they'll announce on stage. There you go. Listen.
Can we announce runner-ups as well, which give prizes?
Yeah.
And third place?
Yeah. Next is, no, runner-up and winner.
Awesome. Thanks so much to everyone who participated in the Terra Challenge, or just everyone who came up to our booth and joined our various pull-up challenges that we did throughout the day. Whether you got 1 pull-up, 0, or 8, or more. That was awesome to see all the engagement that we got. It was awesome being here one more year again, and I think in general that actions speak louder than words, but we really enjoy being here and spending time with you guys. I hope it shows through all the time that we spent with you guys. For myself, staying up until 2 a.m., helping different teams out. For another one of my team members, staying overnight and not sleeping at all. I slept over at his place because he lives nearby, but anyways. And yeah, thanks so much for all this. So without further ado, we want to announce the prizes that we got. So for the runner-ups, we're going to start off with that, who are getting an Amazon voucher from DoCSoc, who built something super freaking cool. It was Terra Aim. Would you like to come up on stage? Where are they at? Awesome job. Awesome job, guys.
Nice one, man.
They were the ones who 3D printed the gun, by the way. They built a system that allows, so our challenge, if other people don't remember, was building something on top of the Terra API that could be used by the army. So they built a system that allows people in the military to train and aim at a screen and get feedback based on their heart rate in real time. So it was a super cool project that was really, really well executed. In terms of execution, I think that was the best one we've seen in a while. So awesome job. And for our winner, the winner was a super cool idea, and the thing that we liked about it a lot, on top of the actual practical applicability of it, was that it really resonates with our company ethos. And again, we had the theme of the army, and one thing that we really liked about it was how it helped promote the feeling of a team within that. I'll speak about it in a bit, but without further ado, this is Soldier On. Please come up on stage, guys. And do you have the Apple Watches? Congratulations, guys. Awesome job. These guys identified, so the things that we really liked is these guys did lots of research on identifying the problem and figuring out the best solution to it. So they figured out that one of the big inefficiencies is that people or generals or whoever has their own platoon of soldiers don't really know who the best person to allocate their specific task is. So they might allocate people who are sleep deprived or who might already have done lots of work. So they built a dashboard where a leader could have other soldiers and track their health metrics over time in order to best allocate resources in the most efficient way and manage the health of their overall team. So in that spirit, it really promoted thinking of the whole team instead of the individuals, and it's something that really resonates with us. So congratulations, guys. That was awesome. And one last quick prize for the winners of our pull-up challenge. So the challenge was to do the most amount of pull-ups with a 30-kilo vest on. So for that, if you guys would like to come on stage, I'd like to invite Huzaifa, Aaron, and Matteo. Photo? Yeah. Awesome. And for them, we've got some Terra limited edition fleeces. Woo! Let's go. Are the other two here? Oh, there you are. Wait, two of them are large, one is S.
Can I say the S, please?
Yeah. Surprising for that many pull-ups. Oh, he's not here. It's fine. We can move on. Thank you, guys.
Very much. Thanks very much to Tara. Let's move on to the next sponsor. This is Citadel. Would Citadel like to come up to the stage? We got some slides. We got some slides loaded in for you. Sorry. We got some slides loaded in for you.
Sure. Hello. All right. Thanks everyone, and thanks to all the people that came and spoke to us and submitted a prize to the category. We actually had a tough decision in choosing, and we're really impressed with all the ideas and how we link that to our category of most innovative use of financial data. A lot of the thinking outside the box ideas there, and we're impressed with a lot. But without further ado, on the runners-up, we have a map.it. If they can come up to the stage, please. So we were very impressed with the clean design you had and the market application to this. We think it was a very polished and well thought out idea. And the wearing our merch in your presentation always helps. So congrats to those guys. You want to go over there for a photo? And for our winners, we have the Year One Hustlers. Back up to the stage again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. Oh my God.
Congrats, guys. With you guys, we were very impressed with the architectural design, you guys, and the way you presented your thoughts and ideas. We thought it was a really different solution and the problem. Perfect. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks to Citadel. Next up, we have Incident.io. Can someone from Incident.io present their prize?
We asked for first, second, and third. Do we have vouchers for the third place as well?
No, just a second.
Okay.
So you get runners and then winners, right? You got some slides as well, so just like everyone else. Yeah.
Hi guys. Did that work? Hello. Hi. So we're Incident.io. We were offering a prize for the people who had basically like the most polished and like user-focused product experience out of everything that you went and built. So we were really impressed by everyone who actually came to like submit under our challenge. I think you all did really well. We've also really enjoyed going around and speaking with all the teams. I think we sat down and helped you debug some honestly random and strange bugs along the course of the weekend, but also discussed with you what your project should be, kind of what would be a really good focus, whether or not it fits in a real world scenario. And all of you have done really, really well in that respect. So we have obviously the Nintendo Switch Lite as the first prize. I think we've got some vouchers for the second, but we've also got, like, we did first, second, and third, and I think it's worth going through third, second, and first place as well, because I think they all deserve a mention. So third place went to a team who wanted to encourage people to eat a more balanced diet, and in doing so, they created a gamification process with a mobile app where whenever you would go to a shopping center or to go do your food shopping, as soon as you went to pick something off the shelf and scanned your product, it would add it into the app, and then that would add you chickens to your small little like Farmville-esque app game. It was really, really fun. The execution was great. This team is Harmony, so congratulations. That was really, really good. Cool. Oh, well, I've ruined that. Cool. So moving on to second place, we were really impressed by Beacon AI's submission. So obviously, you're all students, you'll be out at night occasionally, and then you'll be walking back home and wondering how you can get home safely. Beacon AI's app was all about being able to kind of enter your destination, and it would provide you with a selection of directions with kind of like a safety rating dependent on kind of like crime statistics taken from ONS. We thought that the UX was really well polished. The design actually looked like a really, really well put together app. And the ideas seemed really solid with a great focus on the user. So yeah, if you want to come up, I think we've got you some gift cards. So. That's right, guys. I think they're just figuring it out now. It was really, really good. No, nice work, honestly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thought it was really impressive.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Right. Don't know if we're taking pictures or not, but yeah, we'll take a quick picture. Leo, you gotta stay. Cheers, you get that side. All right, cheers, everyone. Bye. Yes, all right, so I'm going to try and avoid ruining the surprise for this one. So in first place, this team won because, honestly, we thought that they had incredibly good answers about exactly why they built the product that they did. So when we dug into why did you do it like that, why did you do it like this, why didn't you do some of these obvious enhancements, we just got back like a very confident and well thought through kind of explanation of exactly why they went in that direction, which, especially given the amount of time you have building these apps, is like really quite impressive. So the submission that we thought won was it was a mobile app that especially focused on neurodivergence, so people with ADHD and other like kind of situations that might make it really hard to get your chores done. The idea was that you turn up at the app, you'd add in something like take out the bins. It would kind of build up this idea of a quest for you, which is why the team's name was SideQuest. And over the course of your day, as you start ticking off these tasks, it gives you more points and slowly builds up your points over the course of the day so that you can feel like you're achieving stuff as you're ticking off your daily goals. So yeah, if SideQuest want to come up, we thought that your game was just incredibly well executed and actually had a really great visual design aesthetic. So you got a lot to be proud of. Our SideQuest in the room. Woo, come on. Yeah, it was really well done, honestly. That's okay, it's all right. You can bring them home for you. So we got you some Nintendo Switches, so grab those out. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to Instant.io. And moving on, we now have a word from Marshall Wace, our title sponsor. So please invite Marshall Wace up to stage. Speech. You have a speech. 3 minutes. Yeah.
So, hello, can you guys hear me? I guess you can. So, I was thinking about what to say to you guys today, and I thought, what would I want to hear if I was sitting in your shoes, which I was about 13 years ago, sitting right here. And the thing that I've learned is the beauty of diversity. Now, think about this. If you look at all of your hackathon projects, they've actually incorporated not just one skill, but multiple skills. You've brought 2 or 3 things together to produce something that's quite beautiful. Now, I want to put a term out to you called product engineer. Product engineers are the new software engineer, in my opinion. Software engineers are really good at technical stuff. They build systems. They're great at coding. They have some amazing technical acumen. But product designers are people who design products. They sit with different users. They understand needs. They find a gap in the market, and they build to that. What you guys are product engineers. You're not software engineers. You're not product designers, you are product engineers. You've come in today and you've built something from scratch by pulling together diverse skills and diverse topics to build something beautiful. I can see that when I went around and I talked to different people. There wasn't just computer scientists here, there was physicists, there were mech eng, there was aeronautical engineers. You're going to need all of that skill to pull people in. I see the physicists laughing there. Yeah, I'm talking about you guys. So keep doing that. Keep pulling together broad ranges of skills and progressing. One of the key roles I guess I had in my life was I started a company that pulled in 4 different diverse sets of topics, I guess. Software engineering, finance, psychology, and AI. That was the biggest learning for me. I came out of uni, I kind of did a hackathon, I learned some stuff from the hackathon, and I actually built something from it, got some VC funding, and exited. And one of the reasons why I really like working at Marshall Wace now is because the role I'm in is the most like a startup that I've kind of experienced in the corporate world. So what we do in our graduate scheme is actually model that. We kind of say, hey, come in, don't just look at one thing, but look at a whole range of different skills, bring them together and build something beautiful. And anyone who is not offering you that, please just be careful not to kind of get into a pigeonhole, not to go down a rabbit hole and get yourself locked into just one thing. Please try and be diverse as possible. Learn multiple skills, not just software engineering. Maybe it's finance, maybe it's, I don't know, healthcare, something like this. And pull those things together because those are the people who will build the future. The people who can bring together 2 or 3 topics into one application. So I know you guys have not had much sleep, so I'll kind of leave it there, but just keep your mind open. Don't settle for being pigeonholed, and think about Marshall Wace as a career. Thank you. Okay, I think it's prize time. Yeah. 2 seconds. These guys really impressed us. We were judging on multiple fronts. One is engineering skill. So can you build a reasonably complex application? Is it actually thoughtful? Does it solve a business problem? Is it more than kind of hooking up a couple of APIs together? And we really were impressed with these guys. So do you want to come down and get your prize? Right, well done, guys. We're really, really impressed. You worked together really well. We thought one of the things we judge is how well you work as a group, how well you collaborate, how well you organize the team, and we really felt like you guys smashed that one. So, well done. Cool. Do you want to come? I know. Drum roll. Can we see it? Okay. Can we fast forward one? Okay, yeah. So, oh, have I lost this? There, I've got it. So these guys, the next winners, we were really, really impressed. I think I dropped by their actual hackathon area, like with 5 minutes left to submission, and they were still able to tell me about the product and still fixing bugs and changing the models and doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I don't know. So it is, and I don't think this is the team name. I think this is the product name. It's Handemonium. Handemonium. Super impressed. Apologies for coming in like 5 minutes before submission time, but there you go. Thank you. I think let's stand over there and take a photo. Yeah. Okay, thanks very much. Sorry, sorry.
All right, thanks so much to Marshall Wace for being the title sponsor of ICAC 24. We really appreciate the level of support we get from industry again. It's been amazing to see how engaged they were as well at the hackathon. So yeah, thank you very much for your support this year. I think we're just waiting on AV to make sure everything's all right. Good. All right, I've been given the thumbs up, so let's hope it works. So this is, I think this is the finishers photo. I wasn't here for it myself, but this is our finishers photo. So it's amazing to see so many of you stuck around, even after 24 hours of hacking. So interesting poses in there. All right, I think after this we should have the montage. All right, that's basically it. I think the last thing I'd like to say is thanks very, very much to the team. They've been phenomenal, as I mentioned in the opening ceremony. They've been incredible people to work with. It couldn't happen without them, and thanks very much to the volunteers who've joined us as well. We've had a massive team, bigger than ever before this year, to make all of this possible, even despite all of the setbacks. So thank you very much, and all right, that's all.
Hackspace. Hackspace.
Yeah. For the Hackspace stuff, again, see us in the ICME Imperial College main entrance, which is just down there. It's where the big screen is.
Thank you guys for the organization.
No worries.
Awesome talk.